The stamp came down with the weight of emergency legislation. Arrest warrant. Violation of physical law. The council chamber erupted into chaos. High Arbiter Kelvoth's gavel was lost somewhere in the clamor.
Ladies, gentle beings, and silicon-based sentience, welcome to an hour with William, Earth's master of wonder.
William Ashford stepped into the light. Midnight blue suit immaculate, a smirk fixed on his lips.
Watch closely. What you are about to see is impossible, and that's the point.
He placed 3 cups on the table. Balls appeared, vanished, multiplied, untraceable even to sensors that measured nanoseconds. 17 species with hyper-developed visual processing stared, their instruments silent. No one could explain what they had just seen.
Our technical team confirms, no holograms, no magnetic fields, no sleight of hand detectable. This is, I have no words.
You don't have to understand it. You just have to believe.
On 14 worlds, the audience was just beginning to ask the question that would lead to a warrant. How? William picked up a solid metal ring and a heavy link chain. He held them apart for all to see.
Solid steel, no breaks, but watch closely. The impossible is my specialty.
His thumbs never moved. The ring slid through the chain as if the steel had become smoke.
Sensors register no energy discharge, no mass displacement. This violates conservation.
Ha! A simple illusion, surely. Our experts are just enjoying the show. Nothing to worry about.
No known mechanism, no quantum tunneling. The ring should be on the floor in pieces.
Still think it's a trick of the light? I haven't even started yet.
In the 3rd row, the Velarin Compact's chief physicist began recalibrating her sensors for the 12th time. Across the galaxy, 15 other scientific delegates were doing exactly the same. All instruments agreed. The event was real and impossible.
Impossible. The word is a crutch for insufficient data, but the data says impossible.
William called for a volunteer. A Velarin dignitary, eager to participate, hurried onto the stage.
Please, sign your name on this card. Make it something no one could forge.
The Velarin marked the card with a glowing stylus. William showed it to the audience, then tucked it away. He stepped away from the volunteer and pointed to a sealed glass box on the other side of the stage. He snapped his fingers. The box now held the same marked card, impossibly transported.
He put it in his pocket. I saw it. So how is it in that sealed container?
A clever illusion. Our cameras must have missed something. Let's not jump to conclusions.
Illusion. I assure you, the box has not been opened since the show began. Check it yourself.
Dr. Xylira Navel rose from her seat, sensors in hand, and approached the box with trembling fingers.
It's real. The signature is genuine. The seal is intact. This is not possible. Not possible.
William swept the signed card aside and placed 4 coins onto a black velvet mat.
4 coins. 1 mat. Watch them travel without moving.
1 coin dematerialized and rematerialized at an impossible corner. Then another. The audience gasped.
And now for the grand finale. A little life from nothing.
He shook out a pristine white napkin. With a flick, a live dove burst from its folds.
The dove was not there. The napkin was empty. I saw it. The dove was not there. The dove was not there. The napkin was empty. This violates every physical principle.
Dr. Navel, please, this is a live broadcast. Control yourself.
The broadcast dissolved into static. An emergency banner replaced William's smiling face. Across 14 systems, the highest-ranking officials received an encrypted alert. Possible reality breach. Within minutes, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. High Arbiter Kelvoth called the chamber to order.
I want answers. How is this human violating physical law on a live broadcast?
A panel of scientific advisors projected their findings or lack thereof. No energy signature, no mass transfer, no quantum anomalies detected. The footage was analyzed frame by frame. The ring, the card, the dove, all defied known physics.
There must be a rational explanation. Are we dealing with an unknown technology?
The advisors had no answers, only silence and shaking heads. One scientist dared whisper, "It might be genuine. Magic." Kelvoth silenced him with a glare.
This is not entertainment. This is a threat to scientific order. Draft an arrest warrant for violation of physical law.
The chamber erupted again, but this time, no gavel could restore order. Amid the uproar, legal scribes began drafting the unprecedented warrant. The charge, violation of physical law.
Objection noted and overruled. This human has made a mockery of science. Diplomatic immunity does not cover reality manipulation. The warrant stands.
The vote tally flashed on every screen. The margin was narrow, but the warrant passed. The final document was placed before High Arbiter Kelvoth. He read every word with grim satisfaction. He dipped the ceremonial pen in glowing ink and signed his name with deliberate force. The seal of the Galactic Council stamped down, binding the warrant into law.
The warrant is active. Apprehend this William Ashford immediately.
Security officers were dispatched, and the diplomatic channel connected to William's dressing room. On the screen, William Ashford's smiling face appeared, still in full stage makeup. He raised an eyebrow.
An arrest warrant? For me? Really? What's the charge? Making science look silly.
Violation of physical law, Mr. Ashford. This is not a joke. You will surrender immediately.
Surrender? You know, that's the first time anyone's asked me to do that on purpose.
The council delegates exchanged uneasy glances. This was not the response they had anticipated.
Sure, I'll surrender, but I have one tiny condition.
You are in no position to negotiate. Name your condition.
I want the arrest to happen on stage, in costume, in front of a live audience.
The demand was so absurd, so theatrical, that the chamber fell into a bewildered silence.
That's the deal. Take it or leave it. I'll be waiting.
The channel closed. The council sat motionless, a single question hanging in the air. What had they just agreed to? The silence shattered as argument erupted across the chamber. Some wanted to refuse. Others feared a diplomatic incident.
This human violates physical law and demands a stage. We will not let him mock the council.
But cooler minds pointed out the optics. Arresting a performer mid-show would legitimize his magic.
Then we do it his way. A public arrest will demonstrate that no one is above the law, even on a stage.
The vote was quick. The council would grant William's theatrical request. They reopened the channel to deliver their answer.
I knew you'd see it my way. The next show is in 1 standard hour. Don't be late.
The arrest details were added to the show's official contract as a special guest appearance. High Arbiter Kelvoth allowed himself a grim smile. Control, he believed, had been restored. He could not know that William had already prepared his greatest trick. William stepped back onto the stage, the applause of a packed house washing over him. The show must go on.
I understand we have some special guests tonight, but first, let's close with a classic.
He produced a single playing card from thin air, made it vanish, then reappear behind a spectator's ear. Backstage, Officer Tharn and his team received the green light. They checked their stun rifles one last time.
Remember, we move on his bow. No sudden movements until I give the signal.
In the corridor, the officers formed up, their boots echoing on the metal floor. On stage, William built to his finale, feeding the audience's energy with every gesture.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A trick so impossible, I'll need your help to believe it.
He executed a flawless card trick, the signed card appearing inside a volunteer's closed fist. Then he stepped back and bowed. Officer Tharn gave the signal. His team stepped into the light, ready for the arrest. As Officer Tharn's team stepped onto the stage, William Ashford, mid-bow, began to shimmer like a mirage. A swirl of golden light consumed him, and when it faded, the magician was simply gone. The audience gasped, then erupted into a mixture of cheers and panicked screams.
Scan. Scan the entire theater. No one leaves until we find him.
Their instruments swept the stage. No energy traces, no hidden compartments, just empty space. Where William had stood, only a faint, fading shadow remained.
This is impossible. He was right there, right in front of us.
The camera operator zoomed in, broadcasting the empty stage to 1 billion screens. A single playing card, the ace of spades, drifted down onto the spotlight, as if William had left a calling card. The arrest had become the greatest illusion of all, and William Ashford was nowhere to be found. In the council chamber, Kelvoth watched the feed of the empty stage, his gavel trembling in his hand.
Where is he? This is unacceptable. I want him found.
Arbiter, we've scanned the entire theater. He's vanished without a trace.
Before Kelvoth could respond, a shimmer rippled through the air at the back of the chamber, and then William Ashford stood there, holding up the gleaming arrest warrant like a trophy.
You really thought a piece of paper would hold me?
Seal the chamber. Guards, seize him.
Council guards raised their rifles, but William only smirked and took a theatrical bow.
Gently, Bings. You've been a wonderful audience. I'll be here all week or not.
He vanished again, the warrant dissolving into golden light, leaving only stunned silence and a single floating card. On the stage, a spotlight flared to life. William Ashford stood in its center, arms wide as if greeting an encore. The audience erupted into cheers, disbelieving laughter, and frantic attempts to capture the moment on their devices.
He's back. Get him. Move, move.
Thank you for the warm reception, but I am afraid I have another show to catch.
He took a deep, theatrical bow, and golden light began to wrap around him once more. The officers lunged, but their hands passed through fading light. He was already gone. The stage was empty once more, save for a single playing card spinning down in the spotlight. High Arbiter Kelvoth stared at the view screen, his gavel clattering to the floor.
Stand down. All units stand down. He's toying with us.
The order hung in the air. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council had been made a laughingstock. The council reconvened in grim silence, the air thick with humiliation. Kelvoth called for order, his voice hoarse.
We have been made fools. This warrant has only amplified the spectacle. We must consider rescinding it.
A delegate from the Raxian hegemony slammed his tentacle on the desk, demanding military action and increased charges.
Force has failed. Science has failed. We are not dealing with a criminal. We are dealing with something we cannot explain.
The chamber murmured. Many were still in shock. The image of William's smirk burned into their minds.
I move that we vote to rescind the warrant. This madness must end before it further erodes our authority.
The motion was seconded. The holographic vote tally flickered to life, casting a pale glow over the assembly. One by one, the delegates entered their votes, the tally numbers climbing with agonizing slowness. Kelvoth's hands clenched the podium. The outcome was still uncertain, but the mere fact of the vote felt like defeat. The vote was still underway, but the council had already crossed a line from which there was no return. The tally hit the threshold. The arrest warrant for violation of physical law was officially rescinded.
It is done. The warrant is void. Let the record show we have chosen reason over pursuit.
The original warrant document received a crimson void stamp across its gilded text, the seal of the council cracking. The public announcement flickered across every world. Galactic Council rescinds warrant against Earth Magician. But the news networks had already written their own story. A headline blazed. The Council's Great Escape. Magician vanishes warrant. Across 14 systems, pundits laughed and audiences cheered. The human had outwitted the highest authority in known space. Social media exploded with clips of the vanish, captioned with a new word. Ashforded to be outplayed by the impossible. High Arbiter Kelvoth watched the feeds in silence, his gavel forgotten on the floor. His office, the only quiet place on the planet. The Council's authority evaporated in real time. They had tried to arrest a performer, and instead had been turned into a global joke. And in the eye of the storm, William Ashford's name was whispered with a new title: the man who broke the law by breaking reality. Before the Council's ink dried, William's tour manager released a holographic statement captioned, "The Impossible Tour, 600 shows, 14 systems, a schedule so dense it defied logistics, let alone physics." Tickets went live at midnight. By 0:03, every seat across all 600 dates was sold. Scalpers charged 10 times face value, and desperate fans paid without blinking. Overnight, merchandise flooded the streets. T-shirts, hats, holo posters, all emblazoned with that infamous smirk.
You asked for the impossible. You got it. See you out there. See you out there.
High Arbiter Kelvoth watched the feeds in silence. The Council chamber gloomier than ever. Across 14 systems, skylines were rewritten with his face. The galaxy was Ashforded. The tour bus, covered in his image, rolled through capital streets, drawing millions. William Ashford's warrant had only made him unstoppable. The tour's fifth stop was a world of crystalline spires. The venue held 80,000, and every seat was filled. William closed the show with a new illusion, vanishing a volunteer and returning them with a signed card in hand.
Crystal dwellers, you've been truly magical. Good night.
Backstage, the adrenaline faded. In his dressing room, a priority message from the Galactic Council blinked on the console. The message read, "Mr. Ashford, after thorough review, the Council will not pursue further investigation. The arrest warrant remains void. This matter is closed."
Finally. Took them long enough to run out of ideas.
He let out a low chuckle, the sound filling the quiet room. On the dressing table, the framed warrant sat like a trophy, its void seal catching the light. His reflection showed the same smirk that had haunted council sessions across the galaxy. Outside, another world awaited. The tour rolled on. 3 days later, the Galactic Council held a press conference. The chamber was packed with journalists from every species. High Arbiter Kelvoth stepped to the podium, his movements heavy, his robes rumpled.
After extensive review, the Council has determined that the events of the Ashford performance cannot be explained by known science. Therefore, no further investigation will be conducted. The arrest warrant remains void. We have no grounds to proceed.
A collective laugh rippled through the assembled journalists. The question wasn't if the council had been humiliated. It was how badly. One reporter asked if they would consult human magicians. Kelvoth's only reply was a glare that could shatter glass. The conference ended not with a bang, but with the thud of a gavel that no longer commanded respect. Afterward, in the empty chamber, Kelvoth sat alone, staring at the stained glass depiction of the council's founding.
We could have just watched the show.
But the words were swallowed by the vast emptiness, and the galaxy was already looking ahead to William's next tour date. That same night, William Ashford took the stage for a special live broadcast to every corner of the galaxy.
Good evening, Galaxy. I'd like to thank the Galactic Council for the wonderful publicity. You made me the most famous human in history. I couldn't have done it without you.
He reached into his jacket and produced a pristine document, the original arrest warrant, void seal and all.
This little slip of paper made me a legend, but paper is fragile.
With deliberate slowness, he tore the warrant in 2, then 4, then 8 pieces.
Nothing lasts forever, not even warrants.
He tossed the shreds into the air. They spun like confetti under the spotlight.
Good night, everyone. And remember, the impossible is just a show away.
He winked straight into the lens. 1 billion screens went dark. A month later, in a routine session of the Galactic Council, A priority holographic message materialized without warning. On the screen, William Ashford appeared, dressed in a new, more elaborate costume, a playing card twirling between his fingers.
Miss me? I have a new show, and you are all invited. Again.
The screen cracked with static, then burst into a cascade of golden glitter that swept through the chamber. When the light faded, the chamber was silent, every surface coated in shimmering dust. High Arbiter Kelvoth opened his hand. A single golden speck rested in his palm, glinting like a mocking star. He stared at it, his expression unreadable, the weight of a galaxy's defeat pulsing through his fingers. Around him, delegates brushed glitter from their robes, but none dared speak. The chamber's great screens flickered one more time, displaying two words, "Your move," and in the silence, the council understood. William Ashford was never going to stop. High Arbiter Kelvoth let the glitter fall from his fingers. His gaze drifted to the gavel lying on the podium. He picked it up, the symbol of his authority, now no heavier than a hollow prop.
This gavel once held power. Now it's just a piece of wood.
He placed it on the podium with exaggerated care, as if any sound might shatter the room. The glitter still coated every surface, every robe, a permanent reminder of their impotence. He sank into his chair, the high back swallowing his exhausted frame.
We should have just enjoyed the show.
The words hung in the glitter-filled air. No delegate could meet his eyes. They had been given a gift of wonder, and they had tried to arrest it. The council sat in defeated silence, the chamber dimming to a cold blue glow. On a world of perpetual twilight, in a newly built arena that held 100,000, William Ashford took the stage. The roar was immediate, a wave of adulation from a galaxy that had learned to love the impossible. He performed no lengthy act tonight, only a single perfect card vanish.
And for my final trick,
He flicked his wrist, and the card became a dove that soared into the rafters. The audience erupted. The standing ovation lasted 10 minutes. William simply stood, bathed in light, and let it wash over him. Then he bent into a deep, theatrical bow, his coattails brushing the stage. When he rose, he looked directly into the camera, straight into the eyes of 1 billion viewers.
see you at the next show.
A wink, a flicker of gold, and the screen faded to black, the sound of applause echoing into infinity. Suddenly, in the silent council chamber, the main view screen flickered to life. A holographic advertisement blazed forth. William Ashford's Intergalactic Magic School, now enrolling. On screen, William Ashford grinned, performing a card flourish. The words "Learn the impossible" scrolling beneath. High Arbiter Kelvoth's eyes widened, his purple skin turning pale as every ounce of authority drained away. He rose from his seat, hands trembling, the glitter from the earlier message still glinting on his robes.
No, not a school, not more of them.
His scream echoed through the chamber, a sound of pure, undiluted dread. Delegates covered their auditory organs, but no one dared move. The advertisement continued its cheerful loop. On every screen, William's wink froze into a permanent, mocking icon. The image froze on Kelvoth's horrified face. The echo of his scream hung in the air.